Ladies and gentlemen, I want to read you a CBS News article from 3 days ago. This was the initial batch of classified documents that nobody knew about, that the National Archives didn't know about, within Biden's garage and his office. Quote, the material was identified by personal attorneys for Mr. Biden on November 2nd. Interestingly enough, just before the midterms. Gee, I wonder why media and nobody began reporting on this until this month. But anyway, the special counsel to the president confirmed the documents were discovered when Mr. Biden's personal attorneys, quote, were packing files housed in a locked closet to prepare to vacate office space at the Penn Biden Center. Okay. So, this is absurd. This makes no sense at all. First of all, how would his attorneys know something's classified? Okay. Maybe there's classified markings there. Fine. If you're Biden's attorneys, if he's paying you, do you immediately go to the Federal Bureau of Investigation or to the Justice Department? Does that make any sense at all? Or do you speak to Joe Biden? And if you know how these attorneys have operated with Clinton and the Durham probe special counsel, you know that they're not above bending the rules, guidelines, the law for political objectives. I don't believe that they said, oh my goodness, it's true we're working for the president and the vice, and he was the former vice president, we were working for him, and the Democratic Party, and also Bill and Hillary and all these people, but this is terrible. You know, we're putting all these boxes in a U-Haul, and it says classified, so we're going to notify Merrick Garland directly. I don't believe the story here is that they just stumbled upon classified data, and then there's classified data in his garage next to his Corvette. That these revelations are absurd. They just happened. And there's no political narrative here that's being weaved. It's just, golly gee. We are investigating Trump for classified data. There's a special counsel on Trump, and within 3 days, there's a special counsel now on Biden. Now, who benefits within the Democratic Party? The obvious political rivals, the Clintons, and who benefits obviously from this? Trump. Beyond, nobody benefits more than Trump, which leads me to the possibility, I can't say without a shadow of a doubt, obviously, that he planted, that Donald Trump, just like Democrats, oftentimes, with the Steele dossier and a whole bunch of other surreptitious political stunts, Trump could have played the same political game that Democrats have played against him for a long time and planted an informant, a double agent, so to speak, somebody working for, there could be an operative, an attorney, anybody, a political advisor working for Biden, telling the Clintons that he'll do their bidding, while at the same time, at the end of the day, hooking up Trump with the ultimate in political payback. It makes no sense that the entire Democratic Party, Twitter, government officials, the entire system worked so hard to elevate Biden, and they still are propping him up within 3 days have a special counsel and completely look like the biggest hypocrites on the planet with classified data. And we'll explain why the hypocrisy is unbelievable. Trump had the power to declassify. Biden did not. Again, I'm not saying that Trump categorically planted an operative. I'm not saying 100% without a shadow of a doubt that I know. Obviously, there's no way to know. I'm just thinking out loud because this is very interesting, and I think that somebody should be thinking out loud. And when you look at how this is being reported, it's just a coincidence? Gee, 3 days special counsel? Gee, well, that puts a damper on the investigation into Trump. Who benefits the most from this? Trump. I'm voting for Trump in 24. Okay, I voted for him 2 years ago. I want a great economy and a great foreign policy. Objectively, there is no debate. Objectively, Trump's economy was much better than what we see now. And we had record highs in household median income, record lows in poverty in 2019, a record low in poverty. Now they say inflation's going down, but guess what? Food prices are going up. And rent is going up. And credit card debt is going up because interest rates are going up. I mean, the payments. But hit subscribe every day at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. on this channel to my super thanks. Thank you. And there are people giving super thanks, and it's so appreciated. Thank you. And I will thank you. I always do my best to thank you every single time I see a super thanks. And to the new Patreons, I cannot thank you enough, especially in Biden's America. I'm a completely independent voice, and I get to do these videos where I'm just thinking out loud, and I think it's important to think out loud. Again, this is not some kind of conspiratorial fantasy or theory. I'm not saying it did happen. I'm saying it could have happened based on what we've seen. And there's this belief that Trump is always the victim and never the person on the offensive, always on the defensive. There is a possibility that somebody within Biden's team is helping Trump, which I think would be hilarious, but that it is a possibility. None of this makes any sense at all. And if you think it makes sense, if a person out there, and God bless you, everybody, left, right, center, it doesn't matter, conservative, socialist, communist, Trump, Republican, it doesn't matter who you are. Have a beautiful, safe, happy, beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous 2023 and joyful, and God bless you this year and every year. But that being said, if you think all of this is just normal and that the reporting is 100% accurate because the people working for Biden were just, being honest and they just found classified data, I think that would be a naive, gullible, and just a naive and gullible way of looking at things. None of this makes any sense. Because I would expect, when you look at everything they did to cover up the Clinton email servers, that they would have done a better job of within Hillary, just completely obliterated phones and wiped servers clean, with a cloth. And I think she'll be the 24 nominee. So it could have been an operative working for Hillary as the informant. Again, I did a segment. I think the FBI could get involved too, just to claim impartiality while helping Clinton. That would be not helping Trump. That would be helping Clinton. But none of this makes sense. If you look at CBS News, the materials were identified by personal attorneys for Biden. But guess what? Those personal attorneys, if you look, they work for the Clintons also. They work for other Democrats also. A lot of them. Not all of them. But you have these attorneys that are lifelong there. When you have Democratic fundraising and FTX, $1 billion in FTX funding, well, that goes to the political machine and apparatus, which pays consultants and people to set up Trump with the Steele dossier and all that. When they siphoned and basically stole $200 million from Bernie Sanders supporters, that money went to purchase a Steele dossier, which is why Clinton's campaign paid an FEC fine. Then you have Business Insider. It was only after receiving intelligence that some records were still at the Bureau. Okay, with Biden, the situation is reversed. The National Archives did not know how records were missing until the White House told its agents. That's even worse. They say, well, the Bureau raided Mar-a-Lago because Trump wouldn't give the National... So what? The National Archives did this when? When did the National Archives ever send the FBI to get records? The issue was always whether criminal activity and national security was at risk or criminal activity took place. The National Archives is a library. They're using everything against Trump because they despise him with their hearts and souls are like leveled against Trump. The derangement is very scary and frightening and real. But there is a possibility that there's a double agent or there's a possibility. I'm not saying that, like, again, I'm saying this a million times throughout this video. I'm not saying categorically. I'm saying Trump planting an informant or having someone work for him, or let's say having someone work for him that had nothing to do. Let's say there was a person who was somehow gained knowledge that, you know what, there's classified data in a lot of rooms, not just the Corvette garage and a think tank office. There's likely classified data everywhere. President Obama's administration, along with Hillary and private servers, made a mockery of classified data. It was just flying all over the place. They literally siphoned and transferred, nobody knows how, top secret intel onto Clinton's servers. It is impossible to do that. I would love all the people who think that Trump is a menace to national security. I would love for them to explain how top secret and SAP intel were transferred onto servers run by Madam Secretary, who will be the 24 nominee. And I'm telling you, I'll be right about that, whether it's 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, whatever. 2060, the nominee. I'll be like, I was right. But anyway, the point is, ladies and gentlemen, that none of this makes any sense. This is the most absurd and warped and, unbelievable course of events. And I don't even think my viewers really, I don't think most people really understand how bizarre this is. This is not business as usual. This is like, we've entered the twilight zone within 2.5 days. We've crossed the Rubicon yet again into another mad world of obvious lies and deceit, covering up and trying to explain obvious lies and deceit. So anyway, give me your thoughts below. Be here at 11 a.m. Oh, by the way, be here for the live stream today. I should have one by around 5 p.m., everybody. So be here for the live stream at around 5 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. And make sure to be at H.A. Goodman at 11 a.m. and also H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. Thank you. At 9 a.m. and 12 p.m.